Does your ex really not love you, or are they just trying to push you away? For the answer, watch this video. Hey, I'm Coach Benny, and I help people get their exes back. And for 5 years, before I ever did this, I was a dating coach where I had to pay attention to the things that create attraction in other people. Now, when you're trying to figure out whether or not your ex has truly fallen out of love, or if they're just pushing you away, you need to consider this. When people talk about falling out of love, usually what they're referring to is a loss of attraction or some kind of emotional abandonment. So when it comes to emotional abandonment, usually it's like you stop taking them out on dates, or you stop communicating and you shut down in conflict, or you try to run away from it. And if you're doing these type of things, that person is growing distant from you. And ultimately, yes, they could end up falling out of love because you emotionally abandoned them in this way. Now, as far as loss of attraction goes, that person's going to be making statements that allude to that, like, I feel confused. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Something's missing. They're going to say things like this. Now, if they're just trying to push you away, they could be saying these things as well. But if the sex was not there and they're saying those things, it's a true loss of attraction. If they're saying those things, but the sex was there, it really depends on how much. But then they could be just saying those things to push you away. Now, the reasons why people try to push you away typically are going to have something to do with overwhelm. They've spread themselves really thin. They don't know how to set boundaries and communicate in the relationship. So they get overwhelmed and they want to push you away to just have a breath of fresh air because they view the relationship as a source of obligation. Another reason they might push you away is because they have fear of commitment. They have some feelings of defectiveness inside, and they're not sure they're going to be up to the task of being in a relationship. They might have a really high bar set for themselves because of the way their parents treated them in their youth, and they might feel like trapped in the relationship because they won't be able to achieve as much if they're focusing on you versus achievement. That's another thing. So at the end of the day, if your ex is a dismissive avoidant that struggles with overwhelm or fear of commitment, they're much more likely to push you away and even say things that kind of make it impossible for you to chase after them, like loss of attraction statements. But if they've really fallen out of love with you because of a loss of attraction, the sex will have dropped off as well. They're not just going to be making these statements that isn't backed up with any kind of lack of sexual activity. Now, at the end of the day, whether it's a loss of attraction or whether or not your person is just trying to push you away because of attachment style dysfunction, okay, you can get them back in either scenario. You just have to know what to do and what you're working with. So if you want my help, click into my profile picture, click this link down here, set up a call with me, and I'm going to hear your story, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do from here to get your ex back.